drum roll, welcome. Hi, I am Lisa Delaray Barkhuizen. I'm wondering, who are you and what are you interested in? Well, let me tell you a bit about myself and why you need to watch this video. I'm an author. I've written a book called You Are Supernaturally Loved. I'm also a speaker, but I am an excellent consultant because my passion has to do with relationships. You may ask me why. Let me tell you, I don't want anyone to experience the breakup that comes from divorce, especially children are severely affected. My ex was adopted and I had excellent parents. And when I think of the heartache it costed my ex, then I can tell you I want to spare just one other child or one other person from the heartache that dysfunctional relationships can bring. So you can ask me, why do you need to listen to me? Let me tell you about myself. I was married for 24 years. Initially, I wasn't even in love with my partner. But after 5 years, I learned how to love him. And then I was so in love with him that I didn't want to lose him. And I thought if only I loved him, love was enough. But what I didn't know is that I had to understand how to relate to him and what his needs were. I didn't get him. So both he and I made several mistakes. And by the time that the mistakes were so damaging, we eventually separated. But I've decided to use what I've learned as a tool for personal growth, because even if I went back to my ex, my character wasn't such that it would have sustained our relationship. I've had several other relationships. I've been asked several times for marriage. And each relationship for me is a tool for growth, because you really have to understand one another. But even if you understand and you can read all of the books and the text, if you don't use relationships as a tool for personal growth and building of character, then I'm sorry, all the books won't be able to help you. So you may ask, is this video for you? Let me also ask you, are you in a relationship? And do you know the number one difference between partners? Because if you don't get your partner, how can you expect love to thrive? And then also, if you are interested, I'm on Facebook. You can like my relationship page. It's called Relationship Ministries, or look out for Lisa Delaray Barkhuizen on Facebook. Add me as a friend, and you'll see my page, Relationship Ministries. So let me also share with you, did you know that in unhealthy marriages, it's not that people are bad. If you've been through the heartache of a divorce, or you've been through the heartache of a failed relationship, then I want to spare you that. And it's not that you are bad, but you can use it to say, how can I improve? What can I do better? So in unhealthy marriages, it's been found that people invalidate one another because they don't get one another. While in stable marriages, there are similarities in people's relationships, the way they, communicate, and also their personalities. So it's very important if you are involved with someone that are opposite to you, because let's face it, opposites attract. And for me, it's always been the case, because I love a challenge. I don't want to get involved with someone that are so similar to me. For me, it's boring. And when there's a challenge and I can learn from the partner, I love that. So it's very important, if you are involved with an opposite, that you are aware of the different needs and also your partner's logic, or like in my case, the lack of logic. Because otherwise you will feel as if you're walking on eggs the whole time. And I also want to tell you, character for me is about learning to be transparent. Because for a long time with my ex, I wanted to protect myself against the rejection because I loved him very, very much. But if you want to protect yourself, then you're not vulnerable, and then you can't really communicate and tell what you need. So you may ask, but how does this affect you? If you are dissimilar, you need more skill. And even if you are similar, you can don't expect a relationship to give you fulfillment, because then you will always feel, if you are rejected or if something goes wrong, that, oh, now I'm feeling bad. No. If you can view a relationship as a tool for growth, then you can learn from it all the time and you won't go through these ups and downs. So, will you mind if I share a personal belief? Let me say, I'm a Christian, but you can relax. I'm not trying to convert you, and I love to learn from other people's faiths. So would you mind to learn from a faith nugget that I've got? And I think it's related to all religions as well. Well, I believe that I'm a Christ follower, and Christ is perfect and he was divine. But we are human beings. We're frail and human and weak. But Christ restored the broken relationship by giving of himself. And that for me is very attractive. Because if you are in a relationship trying to earn a person's love, then in a way you're trying to impress. And we are here to serve, to learn and to give. Now, I quickly want to tell you about a dream that I had one night that had a profound effect on me. I dreamed that I saw an angel at the end of my life, and this angel had only one question for me. And I thought he was going to ask me, he was going to tell me about my ministry or what I've done wrong. But all the angel asked was, did you learn to love just one other person unconditionally? And at that stage, my ex and I were still married, and I thought, wow, I'm still defending myself sometimes. I'm still reacting in anger. So after that dream, I decided to give it my all. But I really did, if my partner was angry, because it's just a natural reaction sometimes for a man to become upset, revengeful. And I'm saying man, but it could be that you are more a logical person, and then you'll become upset when others don't meet your needs. While for the other type of person, they'll feel rejected. So it depends where you are. So my ex, when he was so angry at me, he would scream at me, and I just kept silent. And I thought that was the answer. But what I didn't learn was to value myself as well. So there's so much that we can learn from relationships. But let me share with you, because you really have to start at the beginning. And the beginning for me is there are two different factors that differentiate and underlie personality types. These two dimensions, let me quickly explain what they are. Firstly, it's power and status, or you can say a system. And I'll explain more about that later. Or some other people are attracted to intimacy and empathy. So it depends which one you are. The most unique difference then is not gender difference. It's not about you being male and him being female, but about personal preferences, one can say. Because I remember also my ex hated it when I wanted to box him in. And I felt if I knew who I was valued, I was affirmed, and I felt that I wasn't so opposite, that I was unlike any other. So it affirmed me, while for him, he wanted to be unique. So anyway, whatever you like, people are different, and I want other people to really get you so that they can know what how to help you, how to serve you, but also for you to relate well to other people. So there's further proof of this from interpersonal relationship studies. Most traits can be arranged in a circular order around the two main axes of love and attachment. So for those people, what drives them, their motivation for life, is to find love, to feel that they belong and that they bond. For others, it's status, power, like we've said, dominance. Because for them, it's about survival, being the best. If they are the best, then they'll know they'll be able to survive successfully. So let's just recap again. On the one hand, you get this empathetic person, so they relate to others with empathy. Whatever other brings to the table, they will relate with empathy. If I show you a picture of a sad person, the empathy type person will immediately feel what the other people or that picture is feeling. While a systematic person will say, what is this picture all about? Give me detail. So on the one hand, you get people that are feeling oriented. Sorry for that, it was just my phone. On the other hand, you get people that are chronologically oriented. They will say, must I make the choice on the one hand or on the other hand? Which one will be the best? And I must be successful in it, so they'll refine themselves and they'll also follow a certain process. So more males, it's interesting, score high on the systems category. More women score high on the empathy category. So if we say this is a gender difference, I'll get controversial reaction because people feel there are heated controversies about this. We all just want to know we are not inferior, you're unique, you fit in, and I just want to affirm you. Some people, I just want to say that as well, are extremely systematic. In other words, they can't relate to people with emotions. If someone is crying, they will say, tears are just spilling from her face. If you don't say to them, I've lost my mum, I'm sad, they don't get it that you are sad. While others are so full of empathy that they can't think logically. If you ask them to do this and this and this, they will say, well, what's the feeling about that? What motivated you to feel that? So we're going to see how that is so important in a relationship. So this two, dimensions measures a person's strength and your interest. Are you interested in empathy? Because then you are able to identify and you will always respond with appropriate emotion. So what this means is that I've said most women are empathetic. So a man wants to know that he's able, capable, he's got abilities. I'm saying man, but it could be women as well. It depends upon which trait you fall in. And then if you respond with empathy and saying, oh, are you all right when they are injured? Then they feel not manly. So can you see how that if you don't understand where your partner is coming from, you can create a lot of unwanted, unnecessary, conflict. So, by systems, I mean the drive to analyze or construct a system. That is what these males like. Because they determine input and output. So they look at a woman and say, if I do this, then she must be happy. This must be the output. And if they don't get the necessary output, you're not happy, then they go back and they say, well, the input is right. I did this and this and this. Why is she so upset? So for a woman with their emotions, one moment they're happy, one moment they're sad. If they hear bad news, they feel with other people. If they had a terrible day, they feel bad. So if your husband doesn't get that input and output doesn't necessarily work for you, he'll stress himself over why can't he satisfy you and you're just difficult. So it's very important to understand these differences. Also, what's interesting is just that some people remember facts while others remember feelings. So he will want to talk about facts, what happened to him, how to do certain things, how to take certain actions, while you will want to talk about emotions. And I remember my ex, often when I wanted to speak about my emotions, he told me, can I tell you about how to fix a car? And then I was like, no, that isn't really my subject. And he said, yes. And emotions, I can only handle just a few emotions, and then it's just not my subject. So it's just, various opposites that you need to be aware of. Let me also say that how can this further affect you? Systems will say, if you are happy, it was my ability that made you happy. So they also say, if we are acting correctly and I'm able to make us successfully survive, then we are able to thrive. While on the other hand, a person with empathy will say, if we bond, if you listen to my feelings, if you show me empathy, if you give me romance, so I am feeling, you can hear, love. Show me an affectionate feeling. They're always looking for feelings, not for actions. So you can miss one another just by not knowing these differences. I think that is enough for today to just think about. Tomorrow we will speak some more about this. Also let me know. If you are interested, I am going to make 7 videos about the most important differences about people. So please follow me on Facebook and like my Facebook page so that you can contact me, and that we can also have a better relationship, that I can serve you, and that you can also know and get tools to help you and improve your relationship. Thank you. Have an awesome day and all the best for you. Go and practice what I've just told you.